Hello, everybody. Welcome to Module 2. What are we going to talk about? Some things to remember, the Module 2 introduction, Module 2 deliverable, and I'll share some articles and videos that coincide with your Deliverable 2 assignment. Please remember you have a total of 7 deliverables. Deliverables 1 through 6 are each worth approximately 11% or 66% of your total grade. Deliverable 7 is a comprehensive deliverable. It's worth 28%. Okay, so how are we doing so far? Well, congratulations. We've had one student submit Deliverable 1. So keep up the good work. How are the rest of you doing? Do you have any questions? I'm looking forward to receiving your first deliverable. You know how I do this? I kind of go in order, deliverable 1, 2, 3, and all down to deliverable 7. But if you want to work on a different deliverable, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you with that deliverable by creating a live chat. Another thing we need to remember, for each deliverable, you have 3 attempts. Remember, you earned the lowest grade. So if we had 4 items, on 2 of them you scored a 4, on the third you scored a 3, and on the last one you scored a 1. What's your grade for that deliverable? You're right. It's the score for deliverable 1 since it was the lowest grade. We don't average them. We don't take the highest grade. We take the lowest grade. So why? Because you have 3 attempts. So complete the first attempt. Let me review it. I'll add detailed comments and send them back to you. Read through the comments. If you have any questions, contact me either by email or telephone. Try the second attempt. Uh-oh, you didn't score as high as you want. All right, now we're down to the last attempt. Please, before you start that third attempt, contact me. Let's review it. Let me offer you some more tips. My goal is to help you succeed. Module 2, Introduction. What will we be talking about? I'll let you read this slide. This information is inside our course. Let's go to the next slide. Always, always, always start with the content inside your class. Gather that information and then watch this recording. As always, I'm going to focus on a deliverable. In this presentation, I'm going to focus on deliverable 2, building B2B relationships. B2B is an acronym for business to business. We have both a B2B and a B2C. B2C is business to customer. B2B is business to business. Let's look at the competency, the scenario information, which is interesting. You are recognized as one of the premier business to business sales relationship gurus. Given your reputation, you have been asked to be the keynote speaker at an industry location. You will be discussing the importance of and tips for building and sustaining B2B relationships. So we're not focusing on the BDR role, we're focusing on the sales role. Move down to the instructions. Since we're going to be presenting at a luncheon, it would probably be nice to have a PowerPoint presentation. And we're going to create a 10 to 15 slide PowerPoint presentation. Now pause for a second. The slide count does not include the title or reference slides. It's only in the body of the presentation. Say, well, that's not right. Well, now let's take a back look at this for a minute. If you're writing a paper and your instructor says write a 10 to 15 page paper, that does not include the title page or the references. It might be part of your overall grade, but when they give you a range, they're not counting the title page or the references. It's the same thing with a PowerPoint. We don't count title slide and we don't count the reference slide. Okay, let's continue. We're going to build a PowerPoint presentation on B2B relationships. And we have to make sure we address 3 points in this PowerPoint. The value of B2B relationships, the steps a BDR would take to build a B2B relationship, and 3 to 4 strategies to manage relationships and increase profitability for all. Look at point number 2. The steps would take to build a B2B relationship. Don't just share the steps one at a time, but also dig deeper. For each step, write a paragraph or 2 about what's happening in that step. And when you create a PowerPoint, I encourage you to include images or pictures and keywords or phrases on the slide. So keep it simple when you're showing them the slide. But at the same time you're showing them the slides, you're also supposed to be talking to them. Now imagine you show your first slide. What would you tell your audience when you show that slide? Whatever you would tell them, type that information in the notes section of the PowerPoint. So where's the notes section? When you open PowerPoint, by default, it is a 3-pane view. Right in the center is the slide. To the left is the menu. As you continue to add more slides to your presentation, you will see more slides being added in that area. Now, finally, the third part, the notes section. If you look straight at your slide, look underneath the slide, type your notes here. That's a text area where you would type your notes. In case you're not familiar with typing your information in the notes section of PowerPoint, I will show you a link explaining how to do that. Some people are not familiar with the notes section. Also, FYI, when you save your work and you're ready to submit it, please do not save it as a PDF file. Save it as a PowerPoint. Why? PDF files do not show the information in the notes section of your PowerPoint. You want me to read your information? Upload strictly a PowerPoint. That way I can look in the notes section and see what you're saying. Okay? The grading rubric, very, very important. Anything that's in the grading rubric, I grade. If it's not in the grading rubric, I don't grade. So let's look at the 4 items we have to make sure we address. Number 1, thoroughly explain the value of B2B relationships. Number 2, described, there's a key word, described, all the steps to take to build a B2B relationship and thoroughly explained. That's another key word. So described and explained. We're not just listing the steps, we're describing them. Number 3, thoroughly identified 3 or more strategies to manage relationships and increase profitability for all. And number 4, careful here. You have to make sure you address number 4. Include 2 or more professional resources. Please do not use bibliography, a dictionary, or encyclopedia. Don't use those sources. Those were okay in high school, but now you're in college. We want professional or peer-reviewed resources. And if we're going to use them, we have to put a citation in the body of your PowerPoint and a reference on the reference slide of your PowerPoint. Here's another thing to watch for: APA 7th edition formatting. Don't give me a bunch of hyperlinks. Give me the APA citation for that source. Check your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, and your plagiarism. Oh, what did I say? Plagiarism? Yeah, keep that in mind. When you find these sources, what you want to do is you want to read the source, paraphrase it, cite your source, and put a reference at the end of your PowerPoint. If you just find this perfect information and copy it and paste it or type it into PowerPoint, that's not enough. I want you to read it. I want you to paraphrase it. I want you to understand it. You're the one that's earning the degree. You share the information with me. Okay? Use the grading rubric when you're first getting started. Make sure you know what you have to include. Then build your PowerPoint. Now you're done. Now pause. Look back. Grab the grading rubric. Did you meet each item? Consider that objectively. Did you meet each item? If you did, that's fantastic. Then go ahead and submit it to me. But if you're missing a point or 2, then we know I'm going to have to give it back to you as not passing. So good luck. Be objective. Paraphrase. All right, one question we have to address. Describe the steps to take to build a business-to-business relationship and thoroughly explain each. Well, before I do that, I probably need to figure out what is B2B. What is that? What is that acronym? It stands for business to business. Now we have 2 common acronyms, B2B and B2C. B2B is business to business. B2C is business to consumer. Typically speaking, when we purchase something like a new car, you're operating in B2C. Probably not buying that car or a fleet of cars, really, for an organization or business. You're buying it for personal use. So that's a B2C relationship. Now, imagine you're at work, your employer wants you to purchase some products. They're very expensive products. Now you're engaging in a B2B relationship. Typically, when it's a high cost item, it's not going to only depend on whether or not you want to buy it for the business. It's going to depend upon what the company wants you to buy. And companies and organizations have multiple levels. You're probably going to have to start somewhere along that level. Get approval from the first level, the second level, all the way up to the top. So it takes longer to engage in a business to business relationship than it does in a business to consumer relationship. And since it takes time, we want to take our time Analyze the different products. You may have to report the different products that are available. Watch the cost. Determine which one best meets your company's needs and expectations. Business to business relationships are developed and ongoing, and the sales processes involved take longer than business to consumer relationships. B2B decision making may take place at more than one level. For instance, the salesperson meets with the departmental manager, who then has to get approval from the business owner before the sale is closed. Article: what is B2B and what type of B2B business should I choose? In this article, the author addresses both issues. What is B2B and what does it mean? And different types of B2B businesses. He addresses product based, service based, software based. There's another article: 5 keys to B2B relationships. How to create long term, mutually beneficial B2B relationships. It's important to make this relationship mutually beneficial. You want it beneficial to your customer and beneficial to your company. The issues that were addressed in that article: the test of time. B2B relationships are cultivated over time. They don't happen immediately. You have to gain that customer's trust. Next, build on trust. When you're building trust, be transparent, be open, don't hide any figures. If you know your company can't do something, share that. Don't hide it. Don't try to make it sound like a perfect rose garden. We're not perfect. We have our limitations. Make sure your potential customer is aware of those. And number 3, state your goals and cost of the projects. What are our short-term goals? What are our long-term goals? How do those goals tie in with your customers' goals, both short and long-term? And how much is this going to cost me? Give the cost up front. Don't hide anything. There's a person by the name of Jeff Dorr. He's a senior managing consultant for Gallup. And he made this famous statement: unknot the bow tie. Now, what does that mean? This is an article by Jeff Dorr, Building Exceptional Business to Business Relationships. In this article, he asks you to remember 5 things. Know yourself, know your company, know what they're capable of and what they don't do. Number 2, reimagine your business to business relationships. Look at what you have to offer. Look at what the company needs. Is the company just going to stay the same all the time, or is it going to try to grow? Can your company match their growth? Can you grow alongside of them and continue to offer different products or services depending upon where the company is at the given time? Number 4, find B2B partners with complementary technology. When you come in with an antiquated system and you know it's not going to help that large company, don't even bother. If you have smaller companies, know your size, know what you can deliver, know your future company's plans. Where are they going to be? If they're going to eventually match the needs of that large company, you might want to leave a business card and let them know that right now we can't service you. However, this is what we will be available. I'll be able to offer you in the future. But for right now, stay within your lane, know what to offer, Be honest with those people. If you're not, your reputation will precede you, whether it be good or bad. Number five, improve trust to enhance further partnering. It takes a while to capture the interest of this potential customer and make them one of your company's customers. You want to be open and honest from day one. Right. What are some trends for 2022, 2023? On these next couple of slides, you're going to see 13 trends. What does the future look like? Right. First one, feedback management capabilities that B2B companies need to improve. What areas do most B2B companies need to improve in? If you're working for a business, look at these points. Now consider your company. How would you rate your company in terms of these? Be objective, because if you look at the percentages, you can see most B2B companies are having problems meeting these. Here's things that we should strive to meet. What actions would you take? Point number two, what do B2B buyers expect from vendors? There's four things there. Number one, personalized portal content. I'm trying to get inside. There's certain information I need. I can't find the information. What do? You walk away. You click that back button. Number two, easy to use ROI calculator. You're in a business. Your bottom line is important. You're considering about purchasing this expensive product or service. Return on investment, ROI. Number three, augmented reality options. You ever heard of augmented reality? Let me share something with you. Augmented reality, or AR, is the integration of digital information with the user's environment in real time. It's like a real life scene. That compares to virtual reality, or VR. VR creates a totally artificial environment. AR users experience a real world environment. Okay, so what's the difference between AR and VR? And let's think of some examples. Have you ever played a game online? What does it look like? Does it look real? Do you feel like you're part of the scene, but in an imaginary world? Now let's look at AR. Some companies have some great software. They can kind of gather a picture of your surroundings. And let's imagine you want to buy some furniture. Through augmented reality, we can bring that furniture in and it will appear like it's right in your current surrounding environment. It gives you a chance to look around and feel, how would this new furniture work? Gives you an idea without even having to bring that new furniture into your house, decide if you like it or not. And if you don't, you may have to pay shipping costs to get it back to where it was, right? And people like that feeling. So we have augmented reality and virtual reality. And your customers, want more AR, augmented reality. Another thing they want, video chat options. They're looking through your site and they find some information, they have questions, or we're promising, they like what your company offers. They want to talk to you now. Problem is, you don't have a virtual chat. Or problem is, it's not currently being serviced. I encourage you to take 24/7 hours. Just in our country, we have several time zones. But now imagine your company is even larger and it spans to other countries. Their times are even different than yours. If you're not available when the customer comes, you might lose a customer. For example, if you were trying to get into a store, you think you know the store hours, and you try to go in, and the door's locked. How does that make you feel? What happens if you know another store that's currently open and you really need that product? Would you wait until tomorrow when the store opens, or would you go to that other store that is open? It's the same thing as a virtual environment. People are so used to getting the things they want when they want them. You have to make your company accessible to others. What type of content is relevant to your B2B buyers? What do they want to learn? Well, number one, technical specifications. Remember, we're dealing with a business to business. We're not dealing with business to consumer. Most consumers don't really care how you made it. They just want, right? But the B2B, they have to know how you made it. They have to make sure what you're offering them links in with what the company currently has. Another thing, case studies. What did other people think about this? We want independent reviews. We want to know if they bought it, why they bought it, how they use it. Another thing, videos. Give me an idea of what it's like. How difficult it is to use? How would you use it? Videos got to span across a variety of issues. Coming in to a possible sale, buying the product, wanting to know how to use it, and on out to future things your company might offer. We also want some white papers and infographics. Look at the percentages of people. What do they most want? They most want technical specs or case studies. But if we look at infographics, it's nice, short, sweet. We don't get all that much information, but it's a good snapshot for now that serves our needs for now. But we have to continue to expand the type of information we provide. When? When do people want this information? Well, it varies. Do you want to speak with someone? 76% who are working with a completely new product or service would like to talk to somebody. 52%, they previously purchased a product or service but want different specifications. 15%, same product, same service. All I want is the product. I don't want anybody to talk to. And 4% say, never talk to me. The only way I want to learn about it is virtually. I want to go online and have access to digital content. I like this video. VR and AR. Where are we and what's the future of virtual and augmented reality? I encourage you to watch it. Okay, this is a commercial. I know, I know. I'm probably I'm probably one of the first ones to turn it off, right? I don't like watching commercials, but this one is very informative, and I encourage you to watch it. It outlines some important elements to consider when building successful B2B client relationships. It takes all these parts away to begin with, and then it brings them together. And by the time we're done with the video, you can see how different parts are related. 4 easy steps to immediately connect with any prospect in sales. As you can see, it's a video. See the popcorn icon? Anytime you see that, you know it's a video. On what steps is this person going to talk about? Recommendations. Open with a provocative question. You don't need the company to be focusing on you. You need to focus on them. You're trying to find out something about them. You're trying to find out what their needs and expectations are. You want to know how your company, can meet their needs and expectations. Why are you the best? Number two, drop the enthusiasm. Get real. This person is considering making an expensive purchase. They don't want you joking around and all this. They want you to know that you're in tune with them, you're in tune with their needs, you're going to deliver quality information. Number three, make it all about them. Don't talk about your family or you. Focus on them. Dig into their challenge. Next one. Identify 3 or more strategies to manage relationships and increase profitability for all. Well, we're in luck. We only have to identify 3 or more. I have several strategies I'm going to share with you. It's a video. 15 B2B low-cost lead generation strategies. Now, while you watch this video, you're going to go through all 15 items. I watched the video. I wrote down the different 15 items they're going through so you can kind of keep in mind as to what this is talking about, because we know we have to identify 3 or more strategies. This person's giving you 15 possible strategies. Some of them you may have already heard about. Some of them you might think that might be a good source. And others you may say, well, that's nice, and move on to the next one. But you've got a long list to look at them, 15. Another article, 5 simple ideas to enhance and grow your B2B relationship. You're trying to make this a permanent relationship. You're trying to make it lasting. You're trying to make it quality based. The next point we got to remember, that last item on the grading rubric. Identify 2 or more sources, professional sources. Watch your APA formatting. And watch your grammar, punctuation, spelling. And watch your plagiarism. Please read it, paraphrase it, cite your source in the body, and reference at the end. I like that source, that's why I kept it there. Do blank checker. You might want to check it out. Okay, today we talked about some points to remember. For example, you get 3 attempts. Then I encourage you to look at the grading rubric before you start your deliverable and after you do your deliverable. When you do it after, be objective. Shoot for the goal first time out. It would save you time. Then we talked about the introduction, and we really focused in on deliverable 2. And I shared some articles and videos with you. This PowerPoint, along with the articles and videos, will be posted in your course announcement. I hope you take the time to look at the information. I try to do some of your homework for you. At this point, I would ask you if you had any questions, but you're not here. But you know, anytime you have to ask a question, please reach out to me. My home phone number is 757-962-3593. Please remember that's a landline. No text messages are accepted. I'll never get it. You want to call me? Email me. You can see my email here. And by the chance, If you call me and I'm not here, please leave your name, area code, telephone number, school you're with, and if you want, your question. Do me a favor, go slow or say it twice. Make sure I have your phone number. If I don't have your phone number, there's no way I'll be able to call you back. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Any other